Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I have a very special request from a very special supporter. This is from Ben at Clubhouse Cards. Clubhouse Cards is my sponsor store here in Pittsburgh where I'm based. They have the best play space with the best tournaments in the city, and they've been a great sponsor to me. And last time I was in picking up my Kaldheim boxes, the manager Ben said he would love to see some Battle of Wits on the channel, and that's an easy. I will do whatever I can for Ben. He's done so much for me. So here it is, folks. I will scroll through this slowly, gaze upon its glory, then we'll start talking about card choices. That's Battle of Wits. Even if I slide the card size to the smallest possible, the whole deck doesn't fit on the screen. So let's just look at it where we can actually see it. So this list is based off a version I dredged up out of the Goldfish archives. I did not want to try to create Battle of Wits from ground zero by myself, but I found some cool different shells, and this one just jams as many combos as it can into an Esper frame, and I like that. So, looking at the lands first, Dark Depths is here, Thespian Stage is here. So, boom, there's one combo right away. Depth Stage present in the deck. Expedition Map, tie it together. Tutors are going to be really important in a 250 card deck. So we got 4 Enlightened Tutor, 4 Personal Tutor, every cantrip, Brainstorm, Ponder, Portent, Preordained, Serum Visions. The gang's all here. We do need to play Magic, so have some disruptive elements, Spell Pierce, Counterspell, Flusterstorm, Cabal Therapy, Inquisition, Hymn to Turok. So that's just like the normal Magic cards in the deck. Here's a couple bullets for the Enlightened Tutor, Torpor Orb, Ethersworn Canonist, and Rest in Peace, all cards that can get found with Enlightened Tutor if necessary. More cantrips and Impulse, Snapcaster Mage to do it all again, some more Magic cards, Counterspell. Here's Hex Mage to go with the Depths. Baleful Strix, just a good solid Magic card. Monastery Mentor, we have our first non-Depths win condition. So Mentor can just win games on its own. If you watch my channel, you know that. Phyrexian Unlife. This combos with Solemnity. So Solemnity, players can't get counters. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. So Solemnity is a combo with Depths, because if Solemnity's in play, Depths arrives, it can't have ice counters on it, so it immediately becomes Merit Lage. Likewise, players can't get poison counters, so you can't die from damage when you have Solemnity and Unlife in play. That's one of the combos. Council's Judgment Magic card. Cunning Wish opens up this sideboard. The entire sideboard is a wish board. I don't think that we'll be actually sideboarding any cards in or out for this entire league. The Mighty Yorion is here because it's completely free to do. Just shove them in. Intuition, powerful tutor. That can get 3 Battle of Wits, and then you play one of them, or can get 2 monsters and an Unburial Rites. So Intuition, probably the most powerful tutor in the deck. Show and Tell. How are we going to get this 5-mana enchantment into play? Show and Tell can cheat that in. That's a big help. Down here we see other options for Show and Tell. We got the usual monster package, and then Omniscience as well to go with the Show and Tell. Show in Omniscience, and you should be able to cantrip and tutor your way to a win somehow. There's more interaction, more removal. 4 Teferi seems like a no-brainer in our every combo Esper deck. Academy Rector. This is, I think, probably on par with Intuition as the top tier of our tutor package. When Rector dies, you can exile it from your graveyard to search for an enchantment and put it into play. Battle of Wits and Omniscience are both enchantments, so that is That's where we want to go. That's why Cabal Therapy's in the deck. That's why Phyrexian Tower's in the deck. We want to be able to kill this thing early and often when we draw it. Moat is in the Enlightened Tutor package. Gifts Ungiven. So, in addition to just being a powerful card advantage engine, Gifts Ungiven also has this cool thing that if you haven't been playing Standard for a long time, you might not know about, so the text on gifts is, search your library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards in the graveyard and the rest in your hand. So, if you search for less than 4 cards with gifts, the first 2 always go to the graveyard before you get 1 in your hand. So if you find, for example, Grizzlebrand and Unburial Rites, and fail to find on the other 2, Grizzlebrand and Unburial Rites go straight into the graveyard, and then you can untap and Unburial Rites your Grizzlebrand. So gifts can set up this Reanimator package, in addition to just being a good card advantage spell. Otherwise, Jace, just a magic card. Verdict, magic card. Here's the namesake, Battle of Wits. It's here, I promise. Force of Will. There's another one in the sideboard. A lot of the counters just have 3 in the main because there's 1 in the wish board. Misdirection is the next 3 forces, effectively. Removal, Unburial Rites for the Reanimator package. Ad Nauseam might seem weird in a 250 card deck full of 8 drops, but if we go back to Phyrexian Unlife, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. So there is 1 Ad Nauseam to go with our 4 Unlifes, just in case it lines up right, that we can draw as many cards as we want without losing the game to life loss. That an entire Modern deck was based around that. Right, Terminus, just more board control, and then here's the monsters at the top end. So that's the deck. We have basically an Esper control deck with a bunch of 2-card combos and tutors rammed in between. And I have no idea how this is going to go, but I am excited to try it. So, Ben, thanks for the suggestion, and let's get into these games. All right, I'm on the draw in round 1. My hand has Disruption and a removal spell, but I'm a little concerned that it has 0 cantrips. But this is my first ever hand with a Battle of Wits deck, so I'm not sure how aggressively I'm supposed to mulligan. Like, I have no heuristics for how to navigate this math. So I'm just gonna keep the 7-card hand. I'm gonna pop off this Inquisition as early as possible, though. Get a feel for what I'm up against and the best way to disrupt it, or the best way to play against it. Blue to Delta. When I see Blue to Delta, I always assume it's a combo deck, whether that's true or fair or not. So if this is Doomsday, Unlife won't help me at all. If it's Ad Nauseam Tendrils, Phyrexian Unlife actually does stop that. It looks like they are just some sort of Grixis control deck. So Baleful Strix is a cantrip that gets onto the board. Preordain is a cantrip that doesn't get on the board. Snapcaster Mage is whatever they want the second time around. So right now I'm deciding if stripping Baleful Strix, making them play off mana for a turn, is better than taking the Snapcaster Mage. Like if I take Snapcaster, I guess they'll end up having to play off mana eventually. No, they can snap Brainstorm. So yeah, I think taking Snapcaster Mage makes the most sense here. Like, this will do a better job cantripping and a better job attacking than Baleful Strix over time, and this game is not going to be short. So I'll take the Snapcaster. Oh, it got himmed. Oh, they hit 2 lands. That's actually probably the best possible for me. Oh, where was this? I guess I didn't have a blue card anyway. Yeah, hiding him was smart, though. I definitely would have taken that. Let's hope they don't have another one. Ooh, missed their land drop. I'll take that. So I guess I'll just jam Phyrexian Unlife into play. it doesn't do anything until you're under 0 life. So it's not like running it out starts the poison count early or anything. So if I draw a land and they don't have a counterspell, I can Gifts Ungiven for the Reanimator package immediately. And I can draw cards with Grizzlebrand basically with impunity. Guess I should respect the possibility of him to Turok. Like, I'm not going to misdirection some random spell, but if they go, like, land him here, it's, like, just better to misdirect it than to let him happen, because I'm losing 2 cards regardless. Alright, deck. Show me the land. Yeah. Okay. So, there's something resembling a plan here. I guess the question now is if I want to go for the small reanimation package or just go for like a big... Okay, because I have the land now, I am pretty sure that I want to cast gifts instead of misdirecting, because like getting my own plan ahead, my hand won't matter if I execute here. Like this, I could actually get 4 cards, including the reanimation package, because Hymn to Turok is on the stack. Like, I might end up discarding them anyway. Oh, bummer. Alright. That worked out pretty well. Okay, so they pitched Baleful Strix to force. Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt are cards that are still in their hand. Ooh. This is a 2-turn line to reset the Gifts Ungiven. Or I could just get Intuition. So they know I have a spell. I could have put Yorion in my hand, or I could have attacked with Creeping Tar Pit, and I didn't do either of those things. Alright, let's see if they have the hardcast Force of Negation. Yes, I would like to use the ability. So I think that Gifts is still better than Intuition, unless I draw exactly land. Guess I have 2 draw steps to find a land. You know what, let's fucking go. Alright, that's not a land. Well, I could Impulse 4 land, and then line this up for next turn. Okay, did hit a land. Okay, so it's now on them. And if I really wanted Intuition to resolve, I would have played it main phase or in their upkeep, but I don't actually care if Intuition resolves. I mean, I want it to resolve, but if it resolves, but then they counter the Battle of Wits, that's just as bad. So it doesn't really matter what order these things happen in. Like if I sneak Intuition in their upkeep, bummer. Alright, well I guess I'll cast this. And set up the reanimation package. Okay, so I can't Battle of Wits, but I can... Oh god. If I can navigate this deck screen, then there's things I can do. So I have to get I want to find the Unburial Rites first. Oh my god. Oh, this is sorted alphabetically. That does help. Okay. Unburial Rites is 1. Then Grizzlebrand. And do I want Jin-Gitaxias? Who's the next best one? Yeah, probably Jin. Oh god, Moto just froze on me while I was clicking. And Jin. Doesn't look like it was punished. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I am done searching. Okay. Alright. If they don't have a counterspell, I get a big monster. And we know 2 of their 3 cards are Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push. They haven't brainstormed. They've only pondered and preordained since we saw those cards. That's pretty nice. I do like that little package. Yeah, and Grizzlebrand is definitely the better monster to get here. They're deep in the tank on this one. And they gave me the Grizzle. They're going to Thoughtseize the Grizzle. Alright, no counterspell. No Cling to Dust. Okay, sweet. Now I can play around Spell Pierce. So Unburial Rites, target Grizzlebrand. I'm going to leave up Caracas in case bouncing my Grizzlebrand becomes something I care about doing. Oh yeah, let's go. No Hull Breacher. Okay. Punished for leaving up Caracas because now I can't cast Counterspell, but I do have Misdirection. I can Deluge for 1 to get under this Strix. And they scooped it up. Undefeated lifetime with Battle of Wits and Legacy. Let's see if we can keep that up. So, like I said in the deck tech, this is a wish board. It basically will, due to the composition of this 250 card deck, these cards will basically always be better in the sideboard than they will be in the main. So, like, I can see in maybe a case of if we're playing against, like, exactly Dredge or something, I could bring in either Trap or Surgical, but not both. Leave one for the wish board and bring in the other. I think that's slightly better math to have one. But in a matchup like this, we're just not going to sideboard. But the opponent, I'm sure, will think really hard about what they're doing. They're going to bring in Graveyard Hate. Okay, they didn't think that hard. That was quick. Oh, look at my hand. I have a cantrip, a combo. I have half of 2 different combos. They showed me a lot of discard spells, though. Like, we saw Thoughtseize and Hymn to Turok. That's a lot of bang for your buck against a deck that's trying to assemble 2-card combos. They did mull to 5. I'll take that. Cunning Wish, good card. Didn't see a Wasteland out of them, so I'm not going to respect it till I see it. Ad Nauseam and Solemnity. Okay, I mean, this is a plan. I don't need the Drowned Catacombs. I want to hide the Solemnity from discard, and I'll draw the Ad Nauseam. So my plan here is a turn 4 Merit Lage. I play Solemnity on 3, play Dark Depths on turn 4, and bang. I could also wait till turn 4 and just do it all at once, but I'm not sure why I would do that. I do have several payoffs now, half of several combos. I actually have an entire Dark Depths combo ready to go. Looks like I'm getting Thought Seized here. I suspect they'll take Cunning Wish. That's what I would take out of a hand that looks like this. But they might be more scared of Show and Tell. I guess it depends on a number of things. Yeah, Cunning Wish was the one that made sense to me. Ad Nauseam makes no sense. I'm glad they didn't take that. So I know I want to shuffle away the Drowned Catacombs from the top, and then I'll try to deploy Solemnity next turn. Now they've seen Show and Tell, so they might be gearing up for a counter war over that. And if that's their plan, like if they're stocking up on Red Blasts, then I can pivot onto the Solemnity. All right. This Spell Pierce will come in handy later. I'm just going to jam Solemnity right now. So what is the get here? I could get Scrubland to double up on all my colors. Guess that makes sense. Because I do have cards of double white, double blue, and double black in the deck, so as well just go wide on my options here. So did they register Dark Depths in my hand? Do they know how this combo works? And do they care? Are my 3 questions here. So Dark Depths can't get stripped by Thoughtseize. It can get hit by Hymn to Turok. Slightly worse than 50-50 odds on that working for them. They made their land drop already, so they're not going to have Wasteland. Even if they play Wasteland, which I'm still not convinced of, they're not going to have it here. And I can make Merit Lage with Spell Pierce back up if my hand doesn't get messed up this turn. And if Solemnity is still in play when I untap, or when I get to my main phase, Dark Depths is just going to happen. Like, there's no room to respond to a land drop. And Solemnity is not a trigger. This will just arrive with no counters and immediately make Merit Lage. And there's not a spot to respond until the Merit Lage trigger is on the stack. And if they bounce Solemnity, like, Grixis can't destroy Solemnity. There's very few cards in Magic, in Grixis, that can actually remove an enchantment in a meaningful way. And this deck probably isn't playing them. Uh-oh. Yes, we dodged. Well, I lost my Spell Pierce, but I kept my Dark Depths. And if I draw some sort of monster... Alright, I was about to say I could also Show and Tell this turn. Alright, bang. Merit Lage. They have 1 card in their hand over there. And they scooped it up! Undefeated, 2-0. 2-0, 1-0 in the league with Dark Depths. Battle of Wits, next round. On the play in round 2, and look what we have here. I have a perfectly reasonable looking Esper Legacy hand, plus Battle of Wits. So let's just survive long enough to do this. So I'm going to hold up Flusterstorm basically the entire game until they make me cast it. Like, I'll hit a discard spell with it or whatever. And then I'm hoping to check their hand with Cabal Therapy the turn before I go for Battle of Wits, and then jam. That's how I've mapped this game out in my head. But we'll see if my opponent wants to cooperate with that. Alright, the disruptive elements just keep on rolling here. I'll probably end step in the brainstorm. I'll brainstorm in the end step here, because hitting land drops is going to be pretty important. Just all the way up to 5. This looks like a Hymn to Turok, though. Indeed it is. Okay, so I'm gonna Brainstorm, Fetch, and then Flusterstorm this thing. Magic Online does not like when I fetch with this deck. Oh shit. Well, that's bad news. So I didn't find my land. I did find Impulse, which can find land. I don't actually need Personal Tutor this game, and I kind of want to hit them back with a Hymn to Tarok, though don't know if I'm going to have time for all that. I could tuck the Therapy. This is close. Having to commit to impulsing for a land is not exciting. If I had my land drop, I would definitely be jamming Hymn to Tarok. So I'm actually going to put back Snapcaster, I think. Though Snap Brainstorm is a long-term play. I actually think I have to put back Therapy here. I'm just priced into that. And then I'm gonna get a black source so I can Hymn to Tarok. If I draw my land, I would rather cast him than hold up counter spells or whatever else I might do this turn. If I don't draw the land, I'm going to have to impulse for the land, which is going to feel really bad. Actually, I guess if I draw land, holding up Snap Fluster or counter spell makes a lot of sense, or I can impulse in the end step. Alright, I have to impulse for my land. Found an island and a plains. I guess I'll take the plains. I don't have that yet. Alright, not ideal. I am in danger now to whatever they want to do. The funny, like, if they have him again... Ouch. My battle! Now they know! I mean, for what it's worth, though, my functional legacy part of my hand is completely intact. Those were the two goofier cards. So if I draw a black source, I can Therapy and then him. Okay, what does this do? So I can Therapy. Oh, I don't have triple blue, so this doesn't actually do anything. So I can hold up Snap Brainstorm or Snap Fluster, or I can just jam Hymn to Tarok into these 5 cards. Yeah, let's get proactive here. They discarded Land Brainstorm. I hope they needed those. I need them to need those, basically. Ooh, that was their land drop for the turn, but that means they have 4 spells in hand. Oh, what fun. Alright, I'm gonna Therapy naming Force of Will. I'm just trying to think of what reactive cards they'd be sitting on. So I could name Force of Will or Snapcaster Mage. I think I want to name Force. Oh, Hull Breacher, shit. So Hull Breacher, Jace Liliana in this hand. That's some stuff. Okay, I'm gonna... So I can cast Unlife, or put Yorion in my hand, or copy a blue source with Thespian Stage. Those are the 3 things that are reasonable for me to do right now. I can still snap Impulse even through a Hull Breacher, so holding onto the Snapcaster Mage makes sense to me. I'm going to get Unlife into play. That'll buy me a lot of time. They're just like, what the fuck? So I'm going to get my Hulls breached at the end of this turn. Now they have a threat, and it locks down my cantrips. Yeah, having a flash threat was something that twisted the narrative in my head of like, why would they pass the turn? They must have only reactive spells. But Hull Breacher is a threat that's also a reactive spell, and now they get to just shove Jace onto this board. And I am in trouble. Yeah, if they just brainstorm into the sun, they'll be fine here. I guess Dark Depths is just my best draw. Like I can play it. They still have Strix, so that can block. And I would have to do it in the end step because they have Jace for bouncing. So Snap Impulse is definitely what I want to be doing here. Let's hope they didn't find a force. Impulse. Please don't play Daze, because I didn't play around it. Cunning Wish, what do you do? Cunning Wish can set up that multi-turn gifts package. Yeah, I'll take the Wish. And I can Flashback Therapy and try to name Baleful Strix. Because I know that this Liliana is somewhere. That's Strix. This Liliana is somewhere in their top 3 cards in their hand plus the 2 on top of their deck. And that can just remove Snapcaster. So firing off the Therapy is kind of a necessary evil here. I'll name Baleful Strix, just because it's a thing that I suspect they're more likely to have. Alright, Strix, Push, Bolt is their hand right now. I mean, they can get Strix back with Liliana, which sucks. Like, if they Jace into a land, they can go Liliana minus Strix and just be super in business. I mean, these aren't discard spells or counter spells, which I'm a big fan of. I would probably have to get Inkwell Leviathan with my reanimation package. And the fact that I have to navigate. So they just activated Jace. Then I'm going to pass the turn. They activate Jace again. I'm going to Cunning Wish. Then they get to Jace again before I Intuition. Yeah, this is looking bad. Really wish I could just jam Battle of Wits, but they're Hymn to Turok. Got me. Yeah, missing the land drop on that one turn long ago was the difference between holding up Snap Fluster for the second Hymn and then being able to protect my battle. Ouch. My Cunning Wish. And I don't have 3 islands in play to get Mystic Sanctuary with. Oh my god. If this resolves, they're going to have to kill me with Jace. The bad news is that's very easy to do. I guess if they have something like Brazen Borrower, they could also just like get me below 0 life and then bounce on life. And if I don't end up with anything to do with my mana, I can always grab Yorion. Yorion can try to pressure Jace at least a little bit. They left it on top. So when I have a fetch land and they leave the first card on top, I always draw it the first time. Because in general, you want to leave cards on top to work through their fetch lands, even if they are good. So I'm going to make them be honest. Okay, so Mentor is a card they have covered. Kind of playing straight into him to Turok here, but I'm going to use my mana. I know they have Bolt and Liliana. There are 2 Council's Judgments in my main deck that can remove this Jace, and I think if I remove Jace, I'm just really, really good. Oh, they're brainstorming, wow. So there's some push and pull here. Like, they can't actually win the game through damage, but if they have a bounce spell of any kind, like the Brazen Borrower, then it would make sense to just cement their advantage by brainstorming with Jace. Also, even if they don't have that, it might make sense to just build up an unbeatable hand before you try to pivot and lock me out with Jace. Because if you just try to go turbo upstairs with Jace, then like a good card might slip through one you can't actually beat. And the Mentor was an interesting leave with the Jace because they have it covered with the Bolt. So it's not like it was a bluff to get me to crack my fetch land, but they also saw that they left a card on top and I didn't crack my fetch, so they've seen me refuse to blink in that game of chicken. And I got somewhat rewarded for it. Ooh, interesting. So I lose to Wasteland if I go for this Monastery Mentor backed by Pact of Negation line. I also lose to Stifle. Ooh, this is wild. I think I might just want to cast Yorion. Just get like a big thick bird into play, something that can pressure the Jace. And I get to hang back on my Mentor. I can still Pact of Negation if I want to. Alright, they're just bolting me in response. I'm now at 0. Ooh, if they had done that on their turn, I wouldn't be able to fetch. Oh, do they have Brazen Bee? Good thing I drew Pact of Negation. Let's see, do they have a counterspell? Alright, yep. It looks like I am slain. Okay, they did have Brazen Borrower. Okay, you got me. Alright, so is there a sideboard of note here? So I actually think that having Misdirection and Flusterstorms in the deck over some of the less important bullets, like the less important Enlightened Tutor bullets, might actually be worth it. Because this isn't a matchup where I'm going to need to Cunning Wish for a variety of counterspells. So beating him to Turok in the early game is going to be pretty central to my plan, and Misdirection and Flusterstorm both do that. Rest in peace when either Sworn Canonists don't do much in the matchup. Torpor Orb, they are a Baleful Strix Snapcaster Mage deck. Also saw Hull Breacher. I don't have... Oh, there is a Plow in the sideboard, but I do think wishing for that one is better. Yeah, Torpor Orb's probably fine to leave in. I do have a shitload of removal in the deck. I'm just playing 250 cards, so it's hard to find it. Yeah, I'm going to submit this deck. This opponent's taking a little longer to sideboard against me. I was impressed how quickly the last one figured out how to board against this insanity. So they didn't see depths, but they did see stage. They saw Battle of Wits. They didn't see any of my Reanimator stuff. Did they see a Show and Tell? I can't remember if a Show and Tell got discarded off of him or not. I don't think they saw a Show and Tell. They saw Cunning Wish, though. So they've seen some pieces. Also, let me just say, we would have won the shit out of that game if my Hymn to Turok hit their Jace. Like, that Jace, the steady card advantage, and plus having the alternate win con through the Unlife combo, that was just everything. If they were playing fair and square without the help of a second Planeswalker, I think we would have overpowered that normal Grixis hand. Not that that matters. I'm not saying like we got unlucky or anything. I'm just like mapping out like what games look like with this deck against other fair blue decks. And it does seem, based on what we saw in this last game plus last round, that we have reasonable game against fair blue piles, unless they have a significant banger like Jace or a combo kill. All right, so the thing about Serum Visions is that you need to cast it early and often because the scry happens in the wrong order. So you draw right away. I don't think I want Teleria West. Teleria West can get a stage. I'm actually going to bottom both of these. Like, I can play Creeping Tar Pit next turn, holding up Flusterstorm, and then I have 3 mana on turn 3 for Unlife, or I can keep holding up Flusterstorm if I want. So I hope this is Ponder and not Thoughtseize. Oh, that's black mana. Alright, so this is probably going to take Flusterstorm, which paves the way for the him next turn. Though if they don't actually have him, they might take Show and Tell and just take the more powerful card. Okay, that tells me they don't have him. And I'm pretty excited that I get to keep my Flusterstorm. Because staying alive is the name of my game. Ooh, interesting. So that's something... Like, I didn't have a line to 3 mana next turn anyway, so it's not like I could have tutored for Solemnity and then jammed it all in the same turn. So I'm going to take a multi-turn line here to e-tutor for Solemnity, cast Solemnity, and then I'll have Unlife and Depths to combo with it, and I can back it all up with Flusterstorm. If they have back to basics, I'm fucked. Like, these 2 basic lands have me somewhat worried. But this is the first sighting of E-Tutor. End step Brainstorm. I don't like that. That makes me think they have a powerful 3-drop that they want to jam right now. I don't actually think I can beat back to basics. Like, I'm just ice cold to it. That's what they have. Or Blood Moon. Same thing. So if they just missed their land drop and their Brainstorm locked, I'm okay with that. This wishful thinking. Oh god. This is a lot of basic lands. Okay, Snapcaster. So I'm gonna E-tutor in response to this Thoughtseize. Then if they try to force my E-Tutor, I can Flusterstorm both the Thoughtseize and the Counterspell. Force it. Force it. But they know about Flusterstorm, so they definitely should not force this. Alright. They know what they're doing. So I'm going to grab Solemnity. And then I'm actually going to let Thoughtseize resolve. Because if Thoughtseize resolves, it, like, seeing the Solemnity, they might want to take Unlife. But if they take... So if they take Fluster, then... Like, I can't cast Fluster next turn anyway. Maybe I should have just Flustered. I forgot that this isn't a real land. But I can make Merit Lage next turn if they don't have a counterspell. I don't know. We'll see what they want to do. Alright, they strip the Unlife. So, unfortunately, I don't have a land drop to go with all of this. But I think just making my move is what I need to do here. Because I need to work through the counterspells, because this Gifts Ungiven will be pretty good at some point. Oh, hello. Alright. Merit Lage. Do you have your Brazen Borrower or Jace ready? They know their top card from Brainstorm, so they're going to know if they have an answer to this or not. And they know what's in my deck. Or they know it's in my hand. They haven't seen my whole deck yet. Oh, this does cast Jace, unfortunately. Fuck. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Yeah, the one of the problems with this Solemnity combo is that it does not play around sorcery speed. So if I draw an untapped land, or an untapped blue or black land specifically, I can kill Jace right now. That's not helpful. That's the same shit. I guess I could fire it in again, and that forces them to minus Jace again. Like, that's just another turn of them not being able to go off. Alright, whatever. I wish I had Urborg in play. Then I could activate Tar Pit, kill Jace, and make Merit Lage. That would be fucking bonkers. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And I'm not going to put Yorion in my hand. I do think having up Flusterstorm is worth more here. Would have won that game if this Flusterstorm was Spell Pierce, but I do play 4 of both, so it's not like I could have built the deck differently. I just drew the wrong one of my 4 ofs in my 250 cards. Oh, there you go again. Yeah, now they have removal up. So the Thoughtseize, Storm is 1. I can't play around this. They're just going to get my gifts. Alright, yeah. Their answers lined up correctly this time. In round 1, the opponent's answers did not line up correctly, and in this one they were perfect. Like, if they missed their 4th land drop, or they didn't have Jace, like, they cast a Brainstorm without a fetch land, so these were just all the cards that they had. It's not like they manipulated their deck in any meaningful way. Alright, Portent. So if I get Hull Breachered here, I lose. But I am still going to Portent. Okay, the world's worst Ponder. So I think drawing all of these is fine. Is that even true? Like, once again, this same board without Jace. Like, let's assume they answered my first 2 Merit Lages in other means. Like, the same board without Jace, I just easily have control of, but they do have Jace, so that's no good. Like, I can set up the unlife combo here through a like I can discard spell on life to make room. Then Creeping Tar Pit is a threat, but this is not gonna work as it currently stands, so I am gonna shuffle this. Yeah, right now the whole name of the game is removing Jace from play. And that's gonna be really hard. I had a window to draw a land, but I drew Dark Depths instead of a helpful one. I'll probably concede after one more draw step. Like now Jace is just brainstorming. I don't play Red Blast. I can't even cast Council's Judgment if I draw it. Yeah, the triple Thoughtseize, Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's a good start, it turns out. If this is him, I'll fluster it. I'll at least make them spend some extra mana. They're gonna get both cards anyway. Let's make it cost a little more. Alright, we'll see if they want to pay. Alright, yeah, they do. So this denies them a 3 or 4 drop this turn at least. Take my tiny edges where I can find them. And what's the sitch? This does not activate Creeping Tar Pit. Well, I can activate it, but it'll be tapped because that has to tap itself. So yeah, I'm just dead. Yep, their answers lined up really well that game, as opposed to the previous game where they did not line up so well. Next round. I'm on the draw, and even in the name of silence, this here is a mulligan. If I knew my top card of my deck was Show and Tell, I would keep it, but that would be cheating. So I'm gonna ship this. This is a weird one. I'm gonna... I'll keep it, fuck it. Keep, and I think I want to send Therapy to the bottom. Like, Torpor Orb is kind of a crapshoot. Like, could be great, could do nothing. But I definitely want to keep the Plow and the Forest Blue card, and my lands. Because, like, Land Show and Tell are my best 2 draws. That's not getting any better. So now I can pitch Jin-Kataxis to Force, and I still have a good Show and Tell monster, so I guess that's something. Personal Tutor, there's 4 of them in the deck, can get Show and Tell. So it's like I have 8 Show and Tells. Intuition can get 3 Show and Tells. Cunning Wish can get Intuition for a long line. I'm just spinning my wheels here. This hand is not very good. And this tropical island has me nervous. So if they play some creature here like Tarmogoyf for Dark Confidant, I'll plow it. If they don't, oh, they're ninjas. Okay. Bug ninjas. Yikes. Moth Dust Changeling. Okay. So I guess I should save my plow for the actual Yuriko. Because I can't take them off an enabler. I'm gonna have to plow the payoff. And you can't force ninjutsu, but you can force the force on your Swords to Plowshares. And they don't have 4 mana to double ninjutsu, so that's good. Alright, they're just doing their damage. What the fuck is this? Rated 2/2 Shapeshifter Bear. Any number of shapeshifters become 4/4s. Oh my god. They're just making 4/4s. I actually can't beat this. Yikes. Yeah, if they just make 12 power next turn, I'm dead. I wonder if this even is a ninja's deck. Is this like a hybrid ninja shapeshifter deck? Is that a thing? Force pitching Moth Dust Changeling. Okay. Alright. So I guess I'll plow this one. The unblockable one. And I just have to draw If the last card in their hand is Daze, they can make me lose 2 life, which is pretty funny. But if I draw right now, Show and Tell, we can actually win this. Oh, we have a 4-outer out of 242 cards. Let's go. Didn't have that hero moment we were looking for. Guess I have to fetch Scrubland because this doesn't get Underground Sea. And I do need black mana. Yeah, so I'm going to take 8 this turn, and then I don't know what happens after that. I'll probably just lose. Alright, yeah, those are 4/4s forever. Any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have base power and toughness 4/4. Yeah, that's not until end of turn. Who knew? Changeling Stompy is a deck. The good news is now if they ninja me, they'll lose a 4/4 in exchange for a card advantage, which I think, while I'm on a 2-turn clock, is much worse than just having 4/4s in play. This is a really cool deck, though. I'm into what they're doing. Oh god. I couldn't beat the first one. Now I'm dead even if I draw Show and Tell. Alright, good news. I didn't draw Show and Tell, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is a hyper-aggressive Tempo-y style deck, which is my greatest fear. Like, navigating those Force of Will, Grixis, slow decks is one thing, but surviving this onslaught is a totally different one. I feel like I want Swords to Plowshares in the main deck. Like, even though having one available to Cunning Wish for is, like, mathematically, like, you're gonna have access to more plows, it doesn't matter if it costs 4 mana and you're dead on turn 3 or 4. So that's just not how I'm gonna play this game. I still have Echoing Truth in the sideboard if I need to Cunning Wish for some sort of removal. Like, not ideal, but is what it is. And I don't think Ad Nauseam is going to come up in this game. This is probably a great matchup to get Phyrexian on Life into play. Oh wait, I can do better. Yeah, like Rest in Peace actively hurts me and doesn't do anything against their deck. While I don't think I'm going to cast many Ad Nauseams in this matchup, and also out of 250 cards, it's unlikely I see either of these, but I actually know for sure that Rest in Peace has less upside than Ad Nauseam does. Terminus and Supreme Verdict are going to be very important in this matchup. Moat seems like it'll be a good deal too. Moth Dust Changeling can still fly sometimes, as long as it has a friend to send it into the air. But yeah, I have Toxic Deluge, Supreme Verdict, Terminus. Like, the deck can answer creatures. I just haven't actually done it yet in any of the games we've played. On the play, this has Personal Tutor. If I Personal Tutor on turn 1, what do I look for? And I'm probably keeping this hand, but I'm because on the strength of Hymn to Turok. But what does Personal Tutor actually get? Like, Personal Tutor only gets sorceries because it's a portal card. Search your library for a sorcery. I don't think tutoring for a cantrip makes any sense. I could get a discard spell, but I already have one. Show and Tell is the big sorcery in the deck. Yeah, most of the good cards are instants. I could just, like, line up Supreme Verdict for later. I could also save it just as a blue card. Alright, I'll just hold on to it for now. I'm not going to play a turn 1. I am going to keep this hand on the strength of Hymn to Turok, though. I'm also excited that I have Urborg, because that means I can fetch Tundra and still have double black. I'd be surprised if they're not also a Yuriko deck. They might not have the Ingenious Infiltrator as well, but I would be genuinely surprised if they don't have Yuriko. There's that. I'm not going to fetch now. There's no need to. Drawing more lands never hurts in a deck that likely has days. So I'm going to go for this. It might get dazed. That would be... But if they daze me, then they can't Yuriko. And if they force, it's still a 2-for-1. So this is not the worst. Force, pitching, Moth Dust, Changeling. Okay. Now I can also E-Tutor for Unlife, which actually lines up with this Ad Nauseam that I was going to board out. But I do need 5 mana to get there. Alright, so we have an aggro draw step Brainstorm. I guess draw step is fine. That's the same information you'd have in your main phase. So that's not Yuriko. And anything that's not Yuriko is good news for me. I will Force of Negation a Retrofitter Foundry. That's gotta be in the deck. And that Shapeshifter Saga, whatever it was called. I'll Force of Negation that too. The Hymn did its job. It got 2 cards out of their hand, even if it wasn't a random 2. That's the thing about forcing Hymn to Turok. It's like 2 random cards can go, or Force of Will and a blue card can go. And either way, it's a good deal. So drawing a land would be nice. Alright. The lands are coming now. So I am going to get Unlife. I could also hardcast Force of Negation, because I can still upkeep Enlightened Tutor and play Unlife all in the same turn, because I have the extra land drop. Oh, this looks like a ninja. There she is, the Tiger Shadow. How bad is it? They did Brainstorm, so they know what this is. Alright, it was Brainstorm. That could have been worse. I'm going to E-Tutor on their turn, both to save mana and because it gives me Force of Negation. So I want Phyrexian Unlife here. And because of Urborg, I don't need to crack my fetch land to do all this. Hope they don't have force for this. Okay, it's in there. So the Yuriko is going to draw lots of cards, but she can't actually kill me. Also, damage is dealt as it has infect. So the Yuriko life loss off of her trigger does not... It gets me to 0 faster for Unlife, but it doesn't hurt me once I'm in Unlife. And if I draw a land, I can Ad Nauseam and draw as many cards as I want in their next end step with Force of Negation backup. So they did just Brainstorm to set up a Yuriko, so she's probably going to do lots of damage. Okay, they shuffled, so they didn't want to do that. They must not... Those cards must not be worth keeping. It's a good chance this deck has Brazen Borrower, though. That's just such a reasonable card to put in decks like this. Also, because they have green mana, they could have Abrupt Decay. Alright, deck, come on. Untapped, non-Urborg land. I'm going to be very specific about what I want here. Oh, that line does lose hard to Abrupt Decay, but I'm going to lose hard to Abrupt Decay no matter what. There is no escaping the decay. They did not shuffle off their ponder. Narset. Alright, Ad Nauseam does not draw cards. You know what? You can have Narset. There's a good chance I regret that, but as far as like my plan to resolve Ad Nauseam, that doesn't matter. Okay, time for some fireworks. So I think maybe I was supposed to do that in the upkeep. If I do it right now, they have so many ways to find more cards. I think I'm supposed to do this in the upkeep, and I missed my chance. They have 7 cards in hand already, though. Ad nauseum. Days, you asshole. That was so easy. Too easy, if you ask me. Oh, they had fail also. Yuck. Okay, we've probably lost this game. Though they still have to beat Phyrexian on life. Okay, my hand is literally empty. Nice Thoughtseize. That was weird. They did not shuffle off Ponder. Here comes Yuriko. Another Daze in hand. So how do I win this game now? It probably involves Gifts Ungiven. Or Solemnity. Can't block or be blocked is what Changeling Outcast says. But this can kill Narset if I need to. Unfortunately, players are not permanent, so I can't like get up to 9 poison and then take all the counters off myself. That would be cool. This can kill Narset if it needs to, though. Wow, they're forcing that? That doesn't even matter. But okay, deal, sure. Not gonna complain. I probably should have put Yorion in my hand. Yeah, that was loose. I should also fetch before it's too late, because once I'm at 0 life, I can't pay 1 life anymore. So yeah, I probably just want to fetch now to make sure that these fetch lands don't get stuck in play. So Tundra and probably Scrubland. Oh, this doesn't get Scrubland. Ooh, this does get Mystic Sanctuary. Put that Ad Nauseam back on top. Just keep ramming at this dead horse. Jericho. Outcast. Alright, I am still above 0 life. Changeling Outcast is back. So I could just jam now. That turns on Force of Negation, but if I pass the turn, they can hardcast Force of Will. I'm not convinced it matters. I'm just gonna go for it. They can daze me regardless. Wow, it resolved. So I'm just gonna fill my hand up. If they have Abrupt Decay, I'm dead. How much is enough? I probably need to find like a Supreme Verdict or something. All right, Solemnity does combo. So Intuition finds the battle. Still don't have any removal. I want to find Pact of Negation or Misdirection. Misdirection actually does impact Abrupt Decay. Pretty important here. All right. Wish there was a better way to look at your hand on Magic Online than this. I still don't have a Misdirection. I'm gonna go until I find Misdirection. Though I am now... Oh, it doesn't matter because I have Emrakul. I was about to say I'm now under the point where Battle of Wits is actually met. Its conditions are met. But that doesn't matter because I have Emrakul that I can discard and shuffle my deck in. Yeah, so I'm just gonna draw a zillion here. I want all three Misdirections in my hand. Oh, this is so much fun. There's an Omniscience. There's one Misdirection. Let's find some more. And I don't think they can deal 10 damage to me this turn. Another Emrakul. I'm gonna have to discard like 80 cards. My end step. I'm not excited about that. All right, there's a second Misdirection. I'm actually gonna stop here. No, let's stop right here. Okay, so things that I want to do include cast a discard spell. So I think I want to play Ancient Tomb. That's worth black mana and 2 mana. So I'll play this. Then Cabal Therapy. Okay, so I know that their hand has Yuriko in it. What else do I care? I know they don't have Force of Will or Force of Negation. I'll name Brazen Borrower. All right, just a bunch of changelings and Thoughtseize. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to my discard step, and this is gonna be rough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's their hand right now. Okay, cleanup step. Yikes. Okay, so gone, 2, 3, 4. So I can discard basically every land, every cantrip. I have to discard Emrakul. Anything that wants me to pay life has to go. I actually want E-Tutor, because that can win the game. Cabal Therapy can get discarded. Oh, Battle's already in my hand, so I don't even need to E-Tutor. Then... so many cards. Yeah, I guess Rector I don't actually need either. Yeah, any monster, and it doesn't matter, they're all going to get shuffled in. Solemnity, is that important? I can't cast Force of Will now because that says pay life, not lose life. Oh my god. So many cards in my hand. Alright, so how many did I keep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, I don't need this one. That's 12. I gotta discard 5 more. Did I keep 2 verdicts? The misdirections, alright, Teferi, I don't think matters. Snapcaster, right, I'm discarding my... or I'm losing my graveyard, so that doesn't matter. Pact, Solemnity. Yeah, I don't need I don't need 2 packs. Actually, I don't need Solemnity. Is that true? No, I don't need Flusterstorm. Because I do need Solemnity to... no, I don't, because I'm going to Supreme Verdict. So I don't need Solemnity. Pact. My plan is to show and tell Omniscience next turn. So Supreme Verdict will keep me alive there. Verdict. Maybe I can't keep all the packs. Okay. There they go. Okay. So my opponent has to deal 10 actual factual damage to me next turn. Loss of life doesn't count. I have all of my misdirections for Abrupt Decays. I can Pact of Negation a Brazen Borrower. They do get to draw 6 cards right now, though, which is a scary amount of cards. I'm going to get 5 poison. Or 4 poison. Brainstorm. Fluster. Mutavault. Flusterstorm is a little annoying, but beatable. And maybe I'm supposed to spend a turn Supreme Verdicting, and then I can worry about Show and Tell. Though they do have that Thoughtseize that I need to respect. So I can misdirect the Thoughtseize. Though they have that Flusterstorm. Maybe I just have to let them have Thoughtseize. Yeah, I have both Omniscience and Battle of Wits as things that are reasonable to put into play. And maybe I'm just supposed to keep like 3 Battle of Wits. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. If this was real life and I could just pick up my whole deck and think about it really hard, seeing everything all in front of me, I would have been able to figure out definitely the right thing to do. But this Magic Online only seeing like 7.5 cards at a time, and you have to click for every card you want to see. That's way worse. So if they take Battle of Wits, I still get to show Omniscience. Oh, they took Verdict. Okay, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, okay. They can actually poison me out. So my best draw is probably Emrakul or Impulse. This Narset is just a huge beating. Actually, my best draw is Solemnity. They have to discard a bunch of cards. They used their Thoughtseize. They played their Mutavault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is exactly lethal. Jin Gitaxias Core Augur. What do? You block. So Ancient. Oh shit. That damage turns into poison. So I cannot afford to do that if I don't have to. Oh, if I show and tell, they get to put in a permanent as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, show and tell is actually really dangerous. I don't think I'm winning this game. And the Narset means I don't even get to draw 7 and see what happens. So, yeah, I got shut down by Narset here. One, two, yeah, the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the show and tell will just result in lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's exactly lethal with Battle of Wits. That's at the beginning of your upkeep, so I would have to survive the turn, and I appear to be 1 damage short of surviving the turn. Oh, I could still Yorion if I get Omniscience into play for a second blocker. Alright, show and tell it is. Yeah, so I can make 2 blockers, have some counter spells available. I'm going to Pact first because that doesn't matter. If we get to my next upkeep, I'm going to win with Battle, so that's not important. It was weird that they pitch cast that when they had mana available. So I guess they can Fluster now. Oh yeah, the Brainstorm gets the Fluster up to lethal, or up to Requisite Storm. Yeah, so this Fluster is just gonna get me. I worked so hard for nothing. Alright, yep, they figured it out. Yeah, that was mostly a problem up with the Magic Online UI. And not like it's clearly not built to do that, and just clicking through a 250 card deck the way that I had to there was not something I could figure out in time for the chess clock. Like I said, in real life, if I just picked up 250 cards, picked my best 7, I'm sure I would have found a way to not lose for sure. But what are you gonna do? We're doing weird stuff here. I'm gonna keep on the play in round 4. So I think I'm just gonna land go. I'm not gonna blind therapy. Just completely blind. I don't even have a land drop to work off of, so that's a pass. Valeria West is interesting. Haven't had this one in the hand yet. I had a chance. I think I shuffled it away with a ponder or something at one point. But you can see what that can do. Make a quick Merit Lage, perhaps. Oh, my opponent just said, I am the reason they started playing Legacy. There is no higher praise than that, and that makes me so happy. They played for the first time last night. That's awesome. Welcome to the format. I just revealed Battle of Wits off the top of my deck. So I'm not going to shuffle that. All right, so Battle of Wits. My plan is to just stay alive, use Phyrexian Unlife to bridge the gap, and then cast Battle. I'm going to get my basic Swamp. Cabal Therapy. So, Lightning Bolt, Price of Progress, Eidolon of the Great Revel, Fire Blast. I'm going to go for Eidolon. That's a repeatable source of damage that I really don't want to play against. Alright, Swift Spear, Lightning Bolt, Goblin Guide, Double Rift Bolt. Yikes. I am probably not going to get to... I'm not going to get very far in this game. If I can produce any creature, then that would be some significant... I guess I could have... Okay, I hit anyway. I was about to say I could have played my fetch land instead of Teleria West to try to manipulate these Goblin Guides a little bit and draw extra cards. But I now have all 5 lands, and I'm actually gonna lead on Teferi. So, Tundra, Teferi. Yeah, they missed their land drop, so... Teferi also bricks the Rift Bolts. Oh, I just cheesed forward a turn. Yeah, so... Maybe I should have waited for the Rift Bolts to get suspended. No, I don't think the Rift Bolts are going to come up this game. I think we're actually going to get a Battle of Wits kill. The Unlife will bridge the gap. They didn't spend any effort attacking Teferi, which I respect. Plus that. So I don't need to expose myself any further to anything, basically. So I play Unlife, I take 5. Yeah, I don't think I can actually lose this game. I'm not sure what it would take. But I'd be surprised if they have it. Alright, there's the second land. So now they can skewer me, but not until after combat. But they do have Lightning Bolt, so they can put me into the Unlife this turn. Alright, and then they have to deal 10 next turn. Shit, I spoke too soon. Alright, they are attacking Teferi now. Inquisition of Coast. Oh, I'm at 1. What does that do? So they can Lightning Bolt me into the Unlife, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god. I'm actually... Oh wait, they can skewer before combat? Am I dead for Xaxes? Oh no. Not like this. So... Why can't I make these bigger? So they bolt me into Unlife. Skewer the Critics is on. So I take 3 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have me for Grixis. Fuck. Is there a way to juke around this? So if I impulse into Solemnity, I'm pretty sure I literally can't lose. If I jam the battle, or I guess I could Inquisition them and show and tell battle. Yeah, they don't have permanents in their hand that I know about. Yeah, I think if I Inquisition them, taking the Lightning Bolt, then they can't skewer the critics before combat. Oh no, they have Fire Blast. Okay, so the Rift Bolts don't matter. I can strip the Lightning Bolt. I think Fire Blast is the perfect card that none of this matters. I guess I could Impulse, but then if I fetch, I am automatically at 0. I think I just need them to mess up. Alright, I put in battle. They put in nothing. Yeah, I need them to missequence this. If they float 2 mana, Fire Blast me, skewer the critics before combat, they win. Oh, it looks like they're doing it. They're making choices. This is a heartbreaker. My heart is literally broken. Alright, so I'm at -3. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grixis for poison. Ouch. They didn't even need the Rift Bolts. At least I was right about that. Fuck. Yeah, so that Fire Blast was the perfect card. I mean, I guess any 1 mana burn spell does it. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Salt, salt, pain. My life is pain. Okay, what can I do about this? I think I want misdirections in the main. Gilded Light, or yeah, Gilded Light and Rest for the Weary both would have won me that game. I guess I don't need both of these in the sideboard. I can wish for one or the other. Rest for the Weary is probably the one I'd rather wish for. Plow in the main. Rest in Peace doesn't matter. Feathersworn Canonist. That is a creature that can come into play. Torpor Orb doesn't matter. And Moat would have won me that game. Love me a Moat. What else? There's Pithing Needle doesn't matter. So just some minor optimizations, and then still have stuff in the sideboard that I can get if I need to. Do I want to max out on Flusterstorm in the main? I think I might. So what gets worse? Not excited about Toxic Deluge, but it would have been great that game. Counterspell's kind of shitty. Ad Nauseam and Burial Rites. Rector, those all sound important. I'm thinking about this last cut like it even matters. I could just present 251, and what the hell is the difference? Jace probably sucks. Alright. Here's the plan. That was the closest to the perfect goldfish we're ever going to get. They just goldfished 4 Xaxes just in time. This hand makes no colored mana across its 4 lands, so that's a mulligan. I can keep this. I think I want to send... Is it Impulse or Moat? Like, Moat is so good, except when it's not. Alright, I'm going to ship the Moat. So I'm going to Portent on turn 1. Then I'll have Hexmage on turn 2. So I have to get Underground Sea, Snapcaster Mage, and 2 lands. Snapcaster is not bad, but the 2 lands are pretty awful. I actually am going to shuffle this. Dark Depths is the draw that I want more than anything. Like, that should race them pretty effectively. I guess if I could have planned for a Goblin Guide and just stacked the top of my deck with the Portent, that doesn't really matter. That's interesting. I think that'll slow them down enough that it's worth just getting into play right now. Alright, cool. Killed Goblin Guide, I'll take that. And they can easily pivot onto just burning me out mode. Hope they don't have Searing Blaze in their deck. But I do need to get this into play, because if I just sit here and look at this Eidolon forever, I'm gonna lose to it. I might lose to it anyway. Yeah, if they can just like bolt Hexmage and keep the beats coming, that's rough for me. Maybe they won't notice this as first strike. Deal. Yeah, they're all of the Tabernacle text is on top of this, and they just said they were playing Legacy yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe that was on purpose. Maybe they're gonna cast. Maybe they're gonna storm out right now. Oh, they just had a second one. All right, deal. This has to be among the worst matchups that could possibly exist. Oh. No, because I don't have white mana. I would have definitely cast that if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Alright, so now they know about first strike, so if they have the lightning bolt, I'm gonna lose my Hex Mage. But, I mean, I guess that does effectively gain me 3 life. It already gained me 2 life by eating this Eidolon. If they bolted, it's going to gain me another 3. I'm going to Impulse this turn, even if it hurts. Alright, Lava Spike does not kill Hexmage. Does almost as much damage to them as it does to me. This Impulse, however, is going to sting a bit. But I gotta do it. Okay, Swords to Plowshare is a card I'm very interested in having in my hand. None of those are Dark Depths, unfortunately. Murderous Cut. Okay, that can kill Eidolon without me taking damage. because this is a 5-drop spell. So I'm not going to show them that I have this. I'm going to let them pay for Tabernacle and let them commit a removal spell to Vampire Hexmage before I make the move on that. Okay, they just didn't pay. They must be planning to kill me with a Flurry of Burn right now. They have 5 cards in hand and 3 lands. It should be pretty easy to do. My Swords to Plowshares can gain me 2 life. Alright, Swift Spear. That can get bigger than Hexmage. I'll block. I'll make them have the spell. And then I can Murderous Cut this. Price of Progress. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, it's hard to play around that card with this deck. So I take 6 from that. What just happened? Oh, I got my monthly rewards. Thanks, Moto, right in the middle of my league. Okay, so I'm going to take 6 from that. I go to 3. I lose to a Fire Blast. All right, I can cut this at least. And if they go for the Fire Blast, I can plow my own Hexmage, and I'm at 1, but then they still have 2 cards in hand. There's Fire Blast. Alright, I'm at 1. Not a good place to be. I need to draw that fucking spell, the gain 8 spell, right now. That's not it. And look at this handful of fetch lands. So they have 2 cards in their hand. They're about to go to 3. Their entire deck is built on dealing 3 damage for 1 mana. So I'm not going to win this game. Even if they don't have it right now, they will soon. Yeah, easily. GG's. Yeah, I can't help but feel like I messed up game 1 somewhere. Like there would have been some line where I could have just taken 1 less damage at some point. And I don't know. That was the game 1 was really close. Like those are the ones that are gonna haunt you at night. But all right, on to the final round. On the play in the final round, I'm gonna keep, and I'm gonna fetch Scrubland off of this Arid Mesa. My mana is as awkward as possible. This Hymn to Turok is not a guarantee on turn 2. If they have Wasteland, it's not a guarantee ever. But I'm gonna get Scrubland because that's the black source I can get with Arid Mesa. And get this Expedition map into play. Did you know this card was in the deck? I forgot until now. But there it is. So, oh, is this a Depths Mirror? I guess I need to adjust my expectations because Bug is just a big part of the meta again. There was a long time where if you saw Verdant Catacombs, you could generally assume it was Depths or some combo deck. But now that that's not true anymore, I can change what I think about that. So, do I think Ponder or Map is a better play? I think I'm just going to set up my map. Like, if I map for a black source, then I can Hymn plus Ponder next turn. And the Hymn should give me more information about what I need off of Ponder if I see them discard 2 cards. If they stifle my map right now, I don't know. I might just tilt off and quit Magic. Alright, they let me have it. It's awkward that I just had to get a, like, mana source with it and not a Depths or Stage or anything actually good. Alright, what you got over there? Oh, they are the old Epic Storm. Discarding 2 Rite of Flame is not really what you want to see against the Epic Storm, though. Not gonna lie. Caracas Mentor, Baleful Strix. I have never seen 3 worse cards for the matchup. Okay, so how do I win now? I hope that set them back a bit, but it probably just didn't. I could lose right now. And it seems likely. Look at all these LEDs. Oh, they're just dumping their hand because now they know I'm a discard deck. That makes sense. Okay. Fair enough. So I guess I could just put some pressure on the board. Mentor. Trigger Monastery Mentor off Expedition map. Has anyone ever done that before? If it's been done, please cite your sources because I don't believe you. Ooh, we're just passing the turn. Portent, baby. All right. So that is a cantrip. Is it better to portent them or me? Probably me. They do play Veil of Summer. It would be a huge beating to get my portent just stifled. Though it's clear their hand doesn't kill me right now, so portenting them is not as embarrassing as it might normally be. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Top, top, top. Do not shuffle that library. So I was going to wasteland them this turn, but now I can't because I'm going to have to pay for this pact. But the good news is I can go to Fairy, bounce map, replay map, get another monk trigger, and I have 5 mana in play for my Pact of Negation. And they can't Veil of Summer effectively. Alright, so Pact is in my hand. Map. This is going to hurt their ad nauseum a lot. I'm crashing in for 9 right now. So if they want to ad nauseum me, they have to do it from 10 life. Maybe less if they fetch. And they're going to have to spend mana up front on Veil of Summer if they want to beat my counterspell. Cunning Wish definitely represents lethal for next turn. Alright, we did it! Turns out all you have to do is resolve a Hymn to Turok, and then they lose. Okie dokie. So I think leaving Mindbreak Trap in the board for Cunning Wish is better than boarding it in. But if I have Cunning Wish in this matchup, it's going to get Mindbreak Trap basically 100% of the time. So I should bring in my Flusterstorm, Force of Will. Does Misdirection do anything in this matchup? I don't think that it does. I should bring in my Flusterstorm and Force of Will at least. Gilded Light can counter a Tendrils. You gain Shroud until end of turn. So that's not bad. Disenchant can destroy Wishclaw Talisman. I don't think the rest of these cards matter. Like, Pact of Negation was good there because we just randomly made it to turn 5, but that's not going to happen often. Ethersworn Canonist is in the gifts package. I don't want Moat. I don't want Torpor Orb. God, there's so many cards. Torpor Orb sucks. Murderous Cut doesn't do anything. Swords to Plowshares is probably even worse than Murderous Cut. But I guess there's a chance of Xanted Swarm, but I have a bunch of discard spells and in-play lock pieces, so that's not even necessarily a game over. So I'm down to 249. You can board more cards after sideboard. You can't board less. Like, I can't cut down to a 60-card deck. Against the Epic Storm, you do need to present to at least 250 cards. Alright, what is bad? I guess it is probably just Swords to Plowshares. Hithing Needle can name Wishclaw Talisman, that's not a blank. All the discard is good. All the counterspells are fine. Wait, what just happened? My deck got smaller. Oh, because I was supposed to add a card to get up to 250, and I cut a card instead. I'm supposed to add a card from the sideboard. So, what is the least bad of these cards in the sideboard? Maybe just Surgical, though I don't actually think Surgical is good in this matchup, but alright, I just need something, and I have 20 seconds to figure it out, so Surgical it is. Cunning Wish for Mindbreak Trap is the shutdown. This hand is bad, now that I know what I'm playing against, but I would have kept this 100% of the time in the dark. We get to Serum Visions on 1, Baleful Strix on 2. Unfortunately, that's not what this matchup is about. Yeah, okay. Discard and counter spells. Sign me up. So I could play the long game and preordain early, or therapy early. Yeah, I actually think Pact of Negation is the worst card in this hand. So I don't have like Angel's Grace that can pivot into making a pact free. I'm gonna hold up Spell Pierce first, and then I can preordain next turn if I need to hit my land drop. But if I can pierce a Wishclaw Talisman this turn, I'll feel pretty good about that. So they can protect it with Veil of Summer. A Carpet. Do I want to cost them their Lotus Petal? Like, they can pop their Lotus Petal to pay for this. I'm not sure Spell Pierce is getting better. Though, actually, this is fine. Because if I therapy them next turn, like if I draw a blue source, I can therapy them with Spell Pierce backup. So I'm not excited that Carpet of Flowers is in play. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so if they go for Wishclaw Talisman now, I can Spell Pierce it. So they could have Veil here to protect this, but I wasn't going to be able to cast this next turn anyway, so that's fine. And now they're not going to be able to Veil my therapy. Alright, so Preordain. I think I need to hit land drops. I would really like to find a scrub land. That's not a scrub land. I will keep it though, because it does therapy. And I want to name a tutor, either Burning Wish or Wishclaw Talisman. I think I'm going to go for Burning Wish. They had Ad Nauseam. Okay, so they can Ad Nauseam from 18 life next turn. And they have another Veil to back it up. I'm in some trouble. I named a 4 of and they had the 1 of instead. Is what it is. I don't expect to untap again. But they can at least show me their moves. Maybe they'll brick. That's a lot of reactive 2-drops they've drawn. Oh, now they're finding mana. There's Burning Wish. Oh, they're at 4. There's the Tendrils. So they could just set up for next turn. This is probably a Ad Nauseam pass hand. Oh, maybe not. They're going for it. Finding Dark Ritual might mean they can win right now. So they have Mox, Petal, LED, that's 5. Ritual is 6. They can Burning Wish. Yeah, this looks like they have it. They went one deeper and found exactly Dark Ritual, so that is how it is sometimes. Now let's see what they want to do with all this mana. In Wishclaw can wish for Dark Ritual. That's like a mana even storm situation. I guess they lose 1 mana to do that, so that's not mana even. But I think they have mana to spare at this point. But the Tendrils already being in hand means that some of their tutors are less effective. Like this LED, like tutor, crack, LED, get Tendrils is not a line right now. There's Talisman. Storm is 6. 1 mana floating. Burning Wish for Echo. Or are they just going to Echo now? I'm actually okay with that because my hand is bad. Oh my god. Please pass the turn. Please pass the turn. Oh my god, they're passing the turn. I'm going to get to Inquisition and him them. Though they do have Wishclaw Talisman, so this might not be enough. I'm going to take Burning Wish. Yeah, I hit 2 lands, bummer. Okay, so they have Ponder, their draw step, plus Wishclaw Talisman to make this happen. Taking the Burning Wish definitely helped, but I don't know. I think I should have hymned first there, because then you get more information for the targeted discard. Yeah, that was a missequence. All right, Tropical Island was their draw for turn. It's interesting that they played a land and then pondered when they have a fetch land available. Oh no, there's still fetchable lands in the deck, so I'm not sure why they sequence it that way. Oh yikes, that should be enough mana to figure this out, but we do have perfect information about their hand. They have 3 cards and we know what they all are. So the Wishclaw Talisman has to win this game because the rest of the cards in their hand do not. Yeah, so they are making their wish. They must be pretty sure they can win, or else they wouldn't be giving me Talisman. Oh, they're just echoing again. All right, around and around we go. Now I have Gilded Light in my hand. That's fun. Though I don't have the 5 mana to cast it on their turn. They have LED, so they can echo again right now. So this hand probably is not going to still be my hand on my turn. Yeah, this is their second echo. So once they echo, they're going to be out of those. I'm super bummed out about this Gilded Light. Alright, it's gone anyway. Okay, Force of Negation. That is a card I can cast. Storm is 7. They've used their carpets already. I didn't find any discard spells off of this round. Oh, there's more. Alright, it's Ponder. I can Wishclaw Talisman for a hymn if I think that is the play. But if I do that, that gives them their Wishclaw Talisman back. So do I think that stripping 2 random cards from their hand now is worth giving them whatever they want next turn? And the answer is probably not. Okay. So they bounced it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So they have their Wishclaw back. So I think that countering Wishclaw Talisman on the way back down is probably the most effective thing I can do here. And with their 7 cards in hand, Veil of Summer is likely. It's a lot of black mana. Wishclaw. Alright, I've done what I can do here. Is it good enough? Nope, of course not. Yeah, Veil of Summer is just such a good card in Epic Storm. Alright, go nuts. If you have it, you have it, but you've gone a long time without having it so far. This looks promising. That's a lot of Lion's Eye Diamonds. And the Wishclaw can get whatever they want. So Storm is 5, 6. The Tendrils make 7, so they need to find 3 more spells between the Ponder and the 2 cards in their hand and Wishclaw Talisman. 3 more spells plus Tendrils. 1. And they're out of echoes, so they have to oh, they can just wish or Wishclaw for Burning Wish for Tendrils. Alright, yeah, now they have it. It's deterministic at this point. I'll just give them a chance to mess up. And that ad nauseum early on. It's hard to believe they had a turn 3 ad nauseum this game, and it's now turn 5. And we just kept playing that long. I'm getting Grape Shat. Are they just showing off? Because I am deterministically dead to Tendrils, and I can't cast a spell, so there's no reason to Grape Shot here. They cast a second Wishclaw. Okay, yeah, now they're just going to get Tendrils and win with Grape Shot in hand, just in case. You got it. Alright, so fighting over Defense Grid is going to be something I have to do. I did bring in the Disenchant already. Maybe I also want Echoing Truth in the deck. None of this other stuff affects that. Swords to Plowshares can get out. Maybe Ravenous Trap should be in the deck over Swords to Plowshares. Plow is just all the way dead, and that's like only mostly dead. Misdirection. I guess we did see Abrupt Decay and Chain of Vapor in the deck. There might be a world where I can misdirect a single copy of Tendrils to stay alive if they go for Exaxes. So, are there any cards left that are just bad? Because I could bring in the Gifts Ungiven. Because, like I said, Cunning Wish will always get Mindbreak Trap in this matchup. Like, period. So if I bring in Gifts or Intuition, I could have one more faster way to my own Reanimator combo. Like, Strix isn't good. It is a blue card, though. Pithing Needle names Wishclaw. Everything else is... Council's Judgment isn't great, but if we play a slow game like we did that time, like if I could have removed the Wishclaw or the Defense Grid at any point, the game would have been a lot different. I do like the Wraths in case they go Goblins on me, but maybe Terminus isn't good enough. And I'll bring in Gifts or Intuition. Probably Intuition is better, just the cheaper one. And Cunning Wish curves up to Gifts Ungiven, if I do have room to make a decision like that. Ugh. This is not a good hand. Like, Force of Negation is good. I'm going to keep this on the strength of Portent. If Portent finds blue card plus another thing, this is actually fine. If it doesn't, I'm in trouble. I'm not going to not cast the Portent. I'm probably going to regret this keep overall. But 250 card decks are unforgiving, it turns out. So I want to get Underground Sea right away. Like, if Portent finds like blue card, Hymn to Turok, that's also a good deal. That's a shuffle. It found none of the above. Let's hope they play it slow again. Also, if they echo me, things get a lot better. All right, so that's good. That is not Carpet of Flowers mana. I would prefer them pondering to carpeting basically all the time. I'm going to play around carpet as much as I can with fetching scrublands and basic plains, basic swamp. Drawing another blue card here would be really nice because then I could cantrip with some confidence. Okay. Is Portent or Serum Visions the better cantrip? I think it's actually Portent. Though, what if I cast both? So I would want to fetch first, but if I cast both, then I'm definitely getting 2 islands. All right, I'm going to Portent myself. Jeez. Yes, shuffle that library. So I guess now I want to Serum Visions. And if it results in me getting an island into play, fuck it. It is what it is. So I'll get a Tundra with this and cast Serum Visions. Because the Serum Visions, the draw, it replaces itself, and then the scry affects what I draw with Portent. Oh, this is very good. So bottom, top. So I want the Enlightened Tutor in my hand. So bottom, top. So I'm going to draw E-Tutor here. If they go for Defense Grid, I can let it resolve and then E-Tutor for Canonist on my upkeep. Yeah, I'm just not going to fight over that. I'm going to make them answer my thing in play. So let's get either Sworn Canonist or... Yeah, that's a better card than something like Unlife. Really wish I had a Deafening Silence in the deck, but I don't. I'm gonna get Scrubland off of this one. So they could have their chain or their decay right away, but if they don't, this is going to be a problem. This also only turns off non-artifact spells, and many of their spells are artifacts. So it's pretty far from perfect, but if they have Chain of Vapor, then I can sack a land to bounce Defense Grid. I don't have a Null Rod in the deck. That would have been a lot better too, or a Stony Silence. Okay, so I can Inquisition them and then hold up Force of Negation. Not bad. And they can't Veil me because they have Defense Grid in play. Nope. They're trying to cast Veil right now, but they can't because of Defense Grid. Hoisted by your own petard, as they say. I'm going to take the Lion's Eye Diamond. That is the most mana-rific thing that they have. This is bad news, though, because those 2 Veils mean that I'm going to have a hard time getting through this anyway, so I'm actually just going to Cunning Wish for Mindbreak Trap right now, pass the turn, and hope it works. I think another Scrubland is reasonable here. Oh, I've already cast a spell. Never mind. Oh, I should have put Yorion in hand. Damn it. Oh, no, I shouldn't, because I could still, if they tap out of green. Yeah, so they have to navigate all this around Featherstone Canonist as well. Okay. This isn't as bad as I thought. Though I definitely should have put my Yorion in hand. So I'm going to attack, just whittling down their life total here. They can use their Veils to cycle. So now this is kind of interesting. Like, if I Cunning Wish now for Mindbreak Trap, they're going to know that that's in my hand and have a whole turn to operate around it. If I ponder and find my 6th land drop, I can Cunning Wish on my turn, then be holding up Mindbreak Trap immediately going into their turn. I think that's going to be better overall. Intuition and Caracas. So I could, I can't cast Intuition anyway, but okay, I'm actually going to keep that. That is a blue card I can pitch to force some negation. And because of Ethersworn Canonist, if I force some negation a spell, they can't Veil of Summer it. So I'm actually good there. And now I'm getting up to the 6 mana. The Caracas is the 6 mana source. It's also not an island, just in case of Carpet of Flowers becoming relevant. So I think we're getting past the point where Carpet of Flowers is going to be relevant. And then I can make my wish right now. Put Mindbreak Trap in my hand. And now they're going to have to figure that out. So they can pay 4 to draw a card with Veil of Summer here, which is fine. That's as good as that card's going to get right now. Yes, use the ability. Put Mindbreak Trap in my hand. All right, now they have to beat Mindbreak Trap and Ethersworn Canonist. And their hand is 2 cards that don't actually function under Ethersworn Canonist. Mindbreak Trap is one of the best cards against the Epic Storm because it doesn't interact with Veil of Summer. Veil says they can't be countered. This exiles the spell. So this is one of the thorns in the side of the Epic Storm as an archetype. Right, so they brainstormed. That's their spell for the turn. It's a pretty good spell. So now I have enough mana to Intuition if they don't make a move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have enough mana to cast Yorion and leave up 3 mana, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, okay. The old end step brainstorm. Maybe I'm supposed to force a negation that while they're tapped out. Though I think that the Intuition will be better going long. I'm not sure what I'm going to search for yet. Maybe I should start thinking about that. Like 3 lock pieces or like 3 things that interact together somehow. Maybe just 3 discard spells, but that turns on the Veil of Summer. I don't know. I'll figure it out when we get there. So we're going to the end step. It's intuition time. Oh, wait. Veil counters intuition because this spell targets. Target opponent chooses one. So I actually can't just fire that off. Should have put Yorion in hand. I didn't think of that. All right. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I can put Yorion in hand and cast it next turn while holding up Mindbreak Trap. And that does not respect it doesn't have to respect Veil of Summer the way Intuition does. So I think this is a better use of my mana. Should have done it last turn, but blew it. Chain of Vapor. Okay, this actually sucks because... Why does this suck? By putting Yorion in my hand, I can't Force of Negation this. But they are going to have to beat Mindbreak Trap, even if they bounce this. And I could sack a land to bounce Defense Grid, and then they have to commit their Defense Grid again. Okay, so no, but if I counter it, then that doesn't work. So do I want to sack a land to bounce Defense Grid is the question. And if so, what land? I was just talking about how my deck is all set up to, or their hand is Dark Ritual Veil of Summer. Like, how do they beat what I've presented here with that? They could, like, wish. Oh, no, I don't know that anymore. They have cast 2 Brainstorms since last time I saw their hand. Yeah, I think I do want to sack the land and put Defense Grid back in their hand. I'll make them do that extra work at least. Because now I can Force of Negation the Defense Grid on the way back down. If they still have Veil in their hand, they can cast it. And then they've expended some pretty significant resources right off the bat. Veil of Summer. Okay, so if Veil resolves, what happens? Oh, they can Echo right now and play around Mindbreak Trap. But if their last card in hand, I think I should pitch for Force of Negation. And I think Yorion is the pitch. Or is it Intuition? No, I think Yorion is the pitch. Like, I want to leave my mana up, because if I hardcast that, then they play Defense Grid, and I don't have 3 mana to cast my Mindbreak Trap, and they might be able to go off regardless of this line. So I definitely want to leave, like, I know one of their cards in hand is Defense Grid, and I still want to be able to trap them. So I think that is the safer thing I can do. And now I have Witchclaw Talisman. They're going to have to beat this Mindbreak Trap. That resolves. I lost my Yorion, so I could let this resolve. And Ethersworn Canonist is coming back down this turn. Oh, unless they search their deck for, like, Thoughtseize or something, which is, like, not a card that is even necessarily in the deck. Yeah, pass the turn. Thought so. I don't have 3 islands to Mystic Sanctuary with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could Wishclaw Talisman for show and tell right now. I lose to... I guess I don't lose. Actually, yeah, that sounds fucking insane. I'm doing it. It's show and tell. Oh god. Here's this whole deck. For the last time, probably. Alphabetically, show and tell. And then Veil of Summer is bad for me. Oh, but I can hardcast Mindbreak Trap, so it doesn't matter. Or Omniscience Cast, I should say. I'm not hardcasting anything. All right, science. And they put in another Wishclaw. Cast with Omniscience. Target you. I just get 3 Emrakuls and win. Probably a more stylish way to do that. I do play 3 Emrakuls, right? Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. 1, 2, 3. All right, Magic Online, please register that the way that I asked you to. It didn't like the last time I cast Intuition with this giant deck. I think it's loading right now. I'm not going to click. Yeah, it's definitely loading. All right, patience. Yeah, my clock's not ticking down or anything. Please don't crash right now. I worked so hard to win this game. Okay, it looks like it's accepted some of my picks, but not all of them. Oh, this is the most stressful part of playing this deck. Though I'm still not sure if having to deal with lag and potential shorting out is better or worse than having to do this in real life, where you actually have to pick up and navigate 250 cards and then also shuffle that deck when you're done. All right, come on, Moto. You're killing me. I think I have officially clicked the last one, and it's just taking its sweet time to load up. Oh, come on. I guess I didn't get the middle one yet. All right. I see 2 of them are highlighted. Now the last one just needs to load. All right, we're just short of breaking Magic Online, but we are breaking Legacy. So as long as something's broken, then we did a good job here. I'm glad we could finish with this absurd Moto Crash win. Yes, 3 Emrakuls looks correct to me. And I get to take infinite turns. They're dead in 1 turn, but even if they had infinite life and infinite permanence, Karakas plus Omniscience is GG. Cast with Omniscience. Bang. Take an extra turn after this one. And I will go to that extra turn and annihilate my opponent. This was an insane match. This was an insane league. I'm glad we could end on a win. Yes. All right. So 2 and 3 against or with Battle of Wits, every combo Battle of Wits. And I think we saw most of the engines kick in. I think the only thing that never really happened in any match was casting a creature removal spell, which I do play a million of, but got run over by creatures a couple times, lost to some actual coherent Legacy decks, but we also beat 2 coherent Legacy decks. There are not many sleeker decks than the Epic Storm, and we beat that. I was actually joking with EpicStorm.com owner Bryant Cook the other day that in every janky brew that I play on this channel, if I won for the league, the one win is against the Epic Storm. Like, I just never lose to that deck. And that rings true today as well. I guess we never got to wrecked or anything, but Solemnity came in pretty clutch. Unlife was pretty good, actually, multiple times. And we didn't get a Battle of Wits kill. We had the one match against Burn where they goldfished just exactly 1 point of damage on target to beat me there, unfortunately. But we did what we could. 2 and 3, I'm not going to be upset about with a deck this absurd. So Ben, thanks for suggesting this, and everyone, thanks for watching. If you have a crazy deck you want me to play, get in touch with me. My contact info is in the video description below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.